Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. As you already know, here we review movies and series. And no surprise, today we're also reviewing a series, guys. It's a series that I've been watching, which is the reason why I haven't been posting so much. It's the series called The Night Agent. I was just watching the season two because I already had watched season one. I think somewhere last year I watched season one. So this year I was watching season two, guys, and to no surprise, it continued where season one ended. And I guess the first episode was kind of last episode of season one, at least part of it. It was more like the ending of season one, as we all know that in the first season there was some sort of a mole within the White House, and Peter Sunderland was the one who was fighting over trying to find out who is the mole within the White House. And he did that successfully and managed to also save the president, who was almost bombed at the end, at the halfway through of season of episode one of this season two. So that's a half of episode one, guys. And I must say that it was really action packed. So if you want those kind of series, like for those who have watched 24, they will know that it's all about protecting the presidents, protecting the United States as a whole. And it's a similar kind of series, guys, for those who haven't watched it. So as I said, then on still on episode one of season two, the second part was Peter obviously joining finally to become the night agent, because on season one he was not a night agent as yet. He was just a person who answered phone calls, which he received a distress phone call within the White House. So these are agents that are above the FBI, above the CIA, and there are agents that are almost like reporting near the president. So they do all the dirty works to try to protect the government and all the stakeholders, or rather the countries as a whole. So yes, in episode two, obviously it was after he was trained, and we also start to see him having a person who was a mentor to him, who was Alice. She also got killed. I think she got killed on still on episode one, after they were sort of sold out. They were having someone who was a mole within their team, and that's how it really started. Season two, guys. It is it's kind of, you can kind of get lost in it. But you can get back into it as the episodes went on. So many questions that we had on season one were really answered, because we found out what happened to Peter's father, since he joined this team to try to find out what happened to his father. So his answers got answered by the president herself. She got to give him the file of over what has happened. And I must also add to say that here on the night agent, he had a boss whom was Catherine, and she was a very, very strict boss who didn't really like him at first, and was sort of saying that maybe since he have went AWOL on episode two, he's never coming back. He's sort of sold out. He's the one who's behind all the crimes that was happening at that time. So he really had a boss who was really hard on him. And at least the one who got killed was a person who was very close to him and was taking care of him very nice. So once again, on episode one, obviously he had to also say goodbye to Rose, in which when he was in training, he sort of finished almost a year there in training, and he didn't even get to reach out to Rose. For those who don't know Rose, Rose was a girl on season one who was sort of in love with him, and he also get to save her multiple times, and she was also involved on trying to help him to find the mole that was in the White House. So she played a huge role, which in season two, obviously, she was more like his right hand person who was helping him, since she also received a call for people trying to find out where Peter was, because he went AWOL to try to find out who's this person who killed his partner, which was Alice. So yes, guys, Rose was working as a developer. Obviously, she had moved on. She was still going through some trauma of what has happened on season one. So she was seeing some therapists to try to help her through what has happened in season one, because it was very hectic for her, and she also didn't have Peter around her, which made it way more difficult. So when Peter came back, obviously it just brought everything back to her as she tried to track him down. Since she was a developer, she was developing an app of face recognition to try to track in all the places where a person can be seen by a camera. So that was her job. That was the nice app that she had developed for her company that she was working for. So she tracked him down up until she managed to find him in Bangkok, which is where everything was happening. And when she found him, obviously he was also already traveling back to New York, which is where the whole series, or rather episodes of season two, all of them ended up being played in New York. So guys, I'm not gonna go into details of what has happened on this series, which is very very long. It has 10 episodes, but what I will say is it's really a nice series. You should watch it. Those who haven't watched it and have watched 24, they will know that what I'm talking about, because I really rate them similar, because the kind of action that is happening is very very similar with what was happening on 24. And on movies, obviously, the movies like White House Down, I think they are type of the same kind of movies. And I think Americans are very good in acting such films and stories where we see the government and the CIA being all or acting all those kind of action. So obviously here we also get to see some spies, which the lady who was acting as a spy was Ellen, and she was also very good, because all she wanted was just to get her mother and her brother to America and get some asylum for those for her family. In other words, she wanted them to get asylum, because in her own country, there were wars, and she was afraid that even her brother was going to be taken to war in that country. So she was very afraid of that, and she just wanted them to come and get a better life. In which, at the end, it ended badly for her, because the brother ended up being killed, and being killed by one of the agent that was sent by Peter and Catherine to try to rescue the family, since she was blackmailing them with some documents that she have got from the perpetrators that was committing crimes. So, guys, I can speak many details about this. I'm trying just to pick and choose the details that were very, very worth to be talked about. But also, as she was doing that, she also was having an agent that was also Javad, who was also in love with her. She was really fooling him just to try to get the information within the people, the perpetrators that were committing crimes. So they were. I must say that the in this series there is one guy whom end up being sort of a key to go to season 3, and his name is Jacob. Jacob Menru was the guy that, obviously, on season 3, I think that is gonna be the main guy that will be causing problems, because at the end of this of episode 10, he end up being the winner. In other words, the way that he play his cards, he end up being the winner because he fooled Peter end up working for him. He fooled all the guys, and he end up being the person who's not even killed. And he end up also being a person who orchestrated the bombs and everything. Is the one who was orchestrating it from the back. He just made use of people and even went to an extent of making use of the governor to be able to put him to be a president. So at the end, as I already said, the person that was running to be president was the person that he personally selected and managed to sort of rig the elections by making sure that other presidents have scandals so that they can retire quickly and get out of the race, which is what he did at the end. And only the person that was running was the person that he wanted, and he was already having control over that person. So this guy, I can say that for season 3, he's gonna be our main guy that will be causing all sorts of problems, and I can't wait for season 3, guys. And to be honest with you, I wish that like all the episodes were just released so that I can just watch it once, all of it. Because it's not really nice to watch season 1 and end up in the air and then had to wait for another year for them to do season 2, and then we watch season 2, it's just 10 episodes, and then you wait another year again. So it was gonna be nice if we were to just review the whole thing, so that we know everything that has went down. But I will end it here, guys, because as I said, it's a nice series. I really rate it high. I rate it as an 8. I think Peter really was playing a good role. His real name obviously is Gabriela Basso, just to state only that name as the main character. So for those who haven't watched it, please go watch the series. It's number 1 on Netflix, so you can check it out. Cheers, guys.